Recording.
Mm-hmm. We're doing the live follow now where it will change camera angles by itself. Oh, here we go. We are live.
We're live. We're live. Okay.
Episode 36. This one is a special one. This is an experimental episode where we're going to try taking Ambien to see if it makes us racist like ROSEANNE Barr. So I think first, let's take it. How do you feel?
I'm sorry, mate. I don't talk to Asians. Yeah. If there are any black people watching or black people listening, you turn off now as well.
I feel just more racist than before. I have funny feelings about the Jews now.
I'm Jewish.
Fuck. I knew it.
Yeah. Fuck.
It works. I'm Jewish too.
It fucking works.
Yeah, it works.
Ambien does make you racist.
Fuck, we need a tweet.
Yeah, shit. Roseanne Barr is right? We didn't. I did not. I thought it was just bullshit.
I thought it was bullshit too.
I thought it was just a front on Twitter, right? I fucked up, but it does actually. You know what I mean?
I feel a little bit more racist.
I feel a bit more racist. Full disclosure, we didn't just take Ambien, but it is. We got to talk about the Roseanne situation.
We took curcumin, which is a very good supplement based on cumin. That helps you reduce inflammation.
So if anything, it's going to make you way less racist.
It should make you less racist.
Because you're less angry.
Maybe Thorn Research will give us some money.
Yeah. Thorn, if you're listening.
Because this is supposed to be very bioavailable.
It's good.
Anyway, I don't think curcumin makes you racist. Maybe...
I certainly don't think Ambien makes you racist. I think Ambien makes you go to sleep.
Ambien makes you go to sleep.
Ambien makes you go to sleep.
And then dream racist thoughts.
But this was Roseanne Barr's... It wasn't really her defence, right? But it was her... That's what she said. Look, I was late tweeting. So look, if you've been living under a rock, right, over the last couple of days, here, this is Roseanne Barr on Twitter calling Valerie Jarrett, right, who was an advisor under Obama, who's black and Iranian. She said, Miss Barr wrote, Roseanne wrote, if the Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes had a baby equals Valerie Jarrett, right?
What the fuck?
I mean...
Oh my god,
Christ.
It's horrible.
Right, that's her career just went down the toilet, straight away. They cancelled the show almost instantaneously.
God.
Right? And then the next day she gets on Twitter to say that, I'm really sorry, blah, 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 but I was, it was late night and I was on Ambien and, maybe Joe Rogan is right. Joe Rogan apparently has a theory on Ambien.
Which is that it makes you racist?
I don't know if it's... I feel it was kind of a dick move to Joe Rogan to, drop him in on the mix too.
Now he has to respond.
Well, she's going on the Joe Rogan podcast on Friday.
What?
Yeah, Joe Rogan's invited him on.
To talk about Ambien.
But I say go for it. Roseanne should go on Joe Rogan.
Absolutely.
She's going to incinerate her career even further because she's an idiot.
I think that Joe Rogan should substitute a great black comedian for himself as a surprise.
And be like, okay, answer. Listen. But
have Dave Chappelle, who's his buddy, just be the host for the day.
Yeah. But I don't know why Joe Rogan is... Anyway, whatever. That's a whole...
Rogan has a thing where he does put on some kind of controversial dudes.
Yeah, he does. He does.
As any showman would, as anybody trying to promote their brand would, but
hold on, this is what Roseanne said. She said, what did she say? She said, I'm not racist, just an idiot who made a bad joke. And then she says, what did she say? Sanofi, the maker of Ambien, responded with a full statement saying, while all pharmaceutical treatments have side effects, racism is not a known side effect of any Sanofi medication.
That is called being owned.
Yeah, Roseanne Barr got fucking slaughtered on Twitter. She got absolutely not just on Twitter. Everyone slaughtered Roseanne Barr after she made that tweet. So this is what I was going to ask. Other than our little experiment where we took Ambien,
still feeling a little bit racist.
Still feeling kind of racist.
Maybe that's what's that called again? The sugar pill effect. What's that called again? where like
the placebo.
Yeah, maybe it's a racist placebo.
It's a racist placebo effect of Ambien.
Yeah.
But
I think the Jews are trying to take over the media.
and Roseanne Barr, she's said some crazy anti-Jewish stuff, even though she's Jewish.
She's Jewish?
Yeah, Roseanne Barr is full on fucking nuts.
Yeah.
She's full on nuts. She has a history of saying really crazy shit. Like she supported the Pizzagate theory.
Right, she's a full on nut job.
She's a full on nut job, right? And
let me ask you something though. If a like, I guess it's like obviously it's a mean spirited comment, but let's say it was like wrapped up in a nicer, like
what about
like
a black woman looking like an ape?
Yeah, like what about like I'm just trying to like is there a comedian who could get away with saying something like that?
No. Who could get away with it?
I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm asking the question. Like
maybe a black woman.
Even
then,
oof.
You couldn't get worse. You couldn't.
It's like, about
she
as
fucked up,
dirty as you can get. Yeah.
Comparing a 61-year-old black woman, insulting her looks, insulting her religion, insulting her ethnicity.
With the worst racial trope that there is, basically.
Yeah, that you could possibly think of, right?
Yeah.
It couldn't get worse.
Should we be charitable in any way to Roseanne Barr? Should we say, like, maybe she just said something racist because she was just on meth and...
I mean, it's not really a defense, but she's insane. Like, she is fucking nuts. But, like, here's the thing. So, this is what I was kind of, like, grappling with. You know, there's the kind of... You get, like, social media lynching, right? When someone does something wrong and then, like...
Not sure if that's the right word.
The Twitter hordes come out and crucify people who fuck up in public. And
right. Social justice warriors.
Yeah. Right. That you say one wrong thing and then all of a sudden... Yeah. You know, but...
This
and I was thinking about this, right, today with Roseanne. I'm like, I need to write something because... we had a history with Roseanne. Like we've written stuff about her when she said crazy shit, and she's actually gone after us and like She blocked us on Twitter. I did a 15-step guide to becoming Roseanne Barr, and it was all about how you basically like, you just when you start losing relevance as a celebrity, you like get crazy ideas and go into politics. Then you fail at that. Then you get some other crazy. You know, the more past it you are. As a Hollywood figure, the more crazy you have to get attention. Right. And I think that's what happened to Roseanne, was that she's
addicted to attention.
She needs attention, so she says crazy shit to get attention.
But she has a fucking TV show.
Right. She's got... This is like...
It was her big comeback.
Yeah, it was a big comeback.
I think she's just a bad person.
I think she's a bad person. I think she's not a good person. Yeah. You know, like, at the end of the day, she's also an avowed Trump supporter. She's a...
There's plenty of Trump supporters who I think are not
right, but
as bad as she is.
But if you're going to add up,
it's not a good look.
Right, Trump supporter refers to a black woman as an ape.
Yeah,
there's spreading Pizzagate conspiracy theories, calling Islam like a pedo religion. I think something like that.
It's in a way, but it's exciting to see. Not exciting. It's interesting to see the way society has changed. Where if you say something, deeply offensive, people will not tolerate it and ask that you be removed from the public space. So if you say this person is 50% ape and 50% ISIS,
your career
people will
wrecked.
just be like, you know what, get
fuck
out,
off. Yeah,
fuck off, and like that's good.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Did you think? But is there a she's now complaining on Twitter? Right here, I've got some of her. I pulled out some other stuff. Right. So Roseanne is also complaining about being bullied. Right. Like I'm not joking.
Yeah, but it's we were talking about this before with Jordan Peterson. It's like you're a public figure and you decided to make a public comment on a public space on Twitter, which is public.
Right.
It wasn't I get it if it was like a text message to your like best friend or something.
Yeah.
And you said something really horrible. Maybe you have a leg to stand on.
Right.
But if you're just talking shit on Twitter about somebody in that way on an open forum, you're fair game, man. Like, people have every right to come at you and exercise their free speech as much as you do.
Right. And you step into the arena, then you that's what happened. She stepped into the arena. I'm just pulling up her tweets, right? So she said... she's now saying, I just wish ABC had not thrown two of the greatest actors in the world out with me, Laurie and John. I'm so sick over this. They will never have better character actors in the network.
She's just going off on a deep...
Yeah, and here we are. She's retweeting like Matt Drudge slams Ambien maker for mocking Roseanne Barr while they drug a nation. This is Roseanne Barr retweeting people defending her.
Right.
Yeah. Can you all help me get more followers here? The more I have, the more my words will have weight. I'm a fighter for fairness in all aspects of US life. I'm tired of being smeared over a stupid mistake, erasing 30 years of activism. Right?
Yeah, I don't think she's the victim here at all. Like, she has no remorse. She should be talking about this person that she's, like, absolutely, like, disgraced. And
right. Yeah. I mean,
no remorse. I mean, it's all about her, how she's the victim here. Like, this whole thing is, like, driving me nuts. And this is something that's happening, I think, very much on the alt-right. Not on the right in general, but I think on the alt-right, which is, like, this deep sense of victimhood.
Victimhood, right.
That they're somehow, like, the true victims in all this.
The persecuted.
So someone says something deeply offensive and disgusting to someone else, and the victim is the person who said it, not the person who had to receive that comment.
Right.
And now I'm sure getting all kinds of comments from Roseanne Barr supporters about how it's all true and you're, whatever, not a human. And a good person would say, wow, I really hurt this other person, and I did something wrong, and I exposed this person to a lot of hate.
Yeah, I'm going to shut up.
I am sorry for that person, and I would call them and apologize, and I would say, I was wrong, and I'm sorry to that too. But Roseanne Barr is not doing that.
I mean, she's apologized on Twitter, saying that she apologized to Valerie.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, she did.
Okay.
But
okay, that's good then. I take it back.
But then there's all the other stuff on top of it, right? There's all the other stuff, the victimhood. Like, she's now the victim, right? And Roseanne is now portraying herself as a victim on Twitter.
It's this whole thing, like, it's like you say something racist, the internet piles on you, and then you're the victim.
Right.
No, not at all.
You're a dick.
You're a dick.
And then you yeah, it's like like a bully kicking off a fight, then getting their ass kicked and complaining about it.
Right.
It's like, oh my god, you beat me up. It's like, yeah, dude, you started a fight,
you
so
were a dick.
You picked on someone. Like, she picked on someone she thought was vulnerable. Right. She likes to punch down. This is the thing you see with the alt-right. They like to punch down. Black, female, Muslim, right?
People without a voice.
Yeah, people without a voice. You can pick on these people. And Roseanne, it's a sad. I don't know what ABC thought they were doing. Why did they bring her show back? She's always been crazy. She started talking about Susan Rice. Remember Obama's?
Yeah.
I feel
she's the ambassador to the UN.
Yeah, ambassador to the UN, right?
Yeah, I think so.
She said that Susan Rice had like 8 balls or something.
What's wrong with these people?
Right, what the fuck is wrong with that? Like, but that should have been when ABC was sort of vetting. Did they vet her? Did they look at what she's been doing for 30
she's
years?
Very popular, and
that's what I think they figured. Yeah. You know what it is? What's happened is that what I think is happening is that they wanted to make a statement with the show about both sides, about showing
That's
this
there
alt-right.
It is.
This is the both sides.
We've seen it.
We've seen what the alt-right is like.
Right.
Now.
It's like that's enough of that.
That's enough of that, right?
Yeah.
So the whole show, I haven't. I've refused to watch the show because I won't like. On the basis that Roseanne is crazy, and she's not a good person, and she has horrible opinions, and she supports Donald Trump, and on that basis, I won't watch her. Mm-hmm. I don't. She's free to have her show and do whatever. I don't care, but like, I'm not watching it. I did used to watch her show like years ago. Good? Yeah, it was. It was good. It was. I watched it when I was growing up in England. It was always on at like 6:30 p.m. after some soap opera I used to watch. Away. Yeah, Home and Away. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Home and Away.
Yeah.
Were you Coronation Street or were you Home and Away?
Home and Away. And Neighbours.
Oh, Neighbours is good as well.
Yeah.
Neighbours. So you went all Australian.
Yeah. And I've actually been to the set
of
Neighbours.
I love Neighbours.
In Melbourne.
That was my show as well.
Melbourne.
Is it Melbourne?
And I've been to the beach, of the Home and Away beach.
Yeah. I was Home and Away and Neighbours as well. Corey wasn't so bad.
Yeah, I never watched that. Northern stuff.
Yeah, Northern stuff.
But like Home and Away and Neighbours was my go-to thing. Then after that, I think it was on a Thursday or something, Roseanne was on, right?
I can't remember a single plot
of
Neighbours. I watch Neighbours like religiously.
Yeah.
But I can't remember anything.
It's amazing how many famous people have come out of Neighbours.
Is it true?
Yeah. Kylie Minogue.
She was in Neighbours.
Kylie Minogue was in Neighbours. Yeah. There's loads of people that have come out
for
of
ages as well.
that have come out of Neighbours that you would never know were some small time Australian soap opera star who are now huge stars.
I'm sure all of them were on Neighbours.
Lot of big Australian actors
Or
came
Home
out.
and Away?
Yeah, came out of Isla Fisher, Home and Away.
No way.
Yeah.
Ella Fisher's Australian?
Yeah.
Did not
Ali
know
G's wife.
that. Ella Fisher's Australian, didn't know
No, she's Australian.
that. Disappointing.
Yeah.
See, I'm getting racist now with my Ambien.
Yeah, the Kylie, the Minogue twins, both on Home and Away.
Was it Minogue twin?
Yeah, Danny Minogue.
What?
She's-
Kylie Minogue is a twin?
She's
Super
hot, man.
hot.
She's hot.
I had a very big crush on Kylie Minogue
Yeah.
for a very long time.
Yeah,
Fuck, I didn't know that.
She's hot. Yeah.
She was very hot. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, but yeah. So anyway, I used to watch the Roseanne show. It's good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I couldn't watch it. It was just too different.
Roseanne.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find it fascinating because I was brought up in England and I'm like,
Right.
wow, what the fuck is this? It's
Yeah.
like blue collar, white family
Yeah.
in the Midwest
Yeah.
in America, and
Yeah.
it was interesting. I thought it was a very interesting show. I watched it, but then seeing what happened to Roseanne, I was like, yeah, I'm not supporting this.
It's like a thing I'm trying to be, because I know that a lot of people will say the two things I'm hearing in, I wouldn't say defense, but like in resistance to the pylon is that the left doesn't get the same pylon as people from the right do.
Right.
So
right.
yes, we say something racist, but then, whoever it was, that ESPN anchor said something about white people, how people in the Trump administration were white supremacists or something like that. I don't know. It just I'm trying to be charitable. I'm trying to like understand the other side, which is arguing two things. One, that the left gets away with equivalently bad things. Number one, and number two, they're saying that, that people are too politically correct and they get offended too easily.
I think to answer those two things, first is just no.
I agree with that.
Right?
Yeah.
Like they aren't
Right.
just as bad.
Right.
Right? They're not saying similarly nasty things.
Yeah.
And two, if so what?
Right.
Right? It's kind of like, it's like saying you stole something, right? And you go, yeah, but back, 5
Obama
years
stole
ago,
something.
yeah, Obama stole something 5
That's what
years
it
ago.
always seems to be. It's
Yeah.
like this weird reflex to be, and I'm never quite clear. Like, are you saying that you're against both, or you think they're both excusable?
They're both excusable, right? Right. It's like I think there was an interview with Jake Tapper and a Republican who was backing Roy Moore
Right.
in the Alabama race,
Right.
and Tapper was like, is this like, why are you supporting a guy who's been accused by like multiple
Right.
children
Yeah.
of being molested?
Right.
Like, this guy is a child molester,
Yeah.
potentially a child molester. Do you think that's okay? And it's like, well, Bill Clinton did this and this and that. And Jake Tapper's like, so what you're saying is that because Bill Clinton did that,
It's okay.
then
for
it's
him to do
okay for Roy Moore to molest children.
Right.
Is what you're saying.
that. Right.
And he's like, no, I'm not saying that. He goes, well, you kind of, you are.
You kind of
You
are.
kind of
Yeah.
are, exactly. That's what you're saying.
That is what you're saying.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
So if your immediate reaction to Roseanne is, yeah, but the left do it, it's like, okay. So let's say they do that, right?
And now,
What? Does that mean
good
that,
or bad?
does that mean that Roseanne can compare black women to apes? Is that?
So disgusting. It's like such a horrible. Why would you say that?
And why can't you just shut the fuck up, right?
How would you even think of that?
It's like when Al Franken got accused of molesting women or being sexually inappropriate.
Yeah.
I was like, look,
Harassing. Yeah.
okay, the guy did it. Like, fuck off.
Yeah. Fuck off.
I was like, Franken should go. Like, he should resign.
go. Yeah, exactly.
See you later.
Yeah.
Like if you molest women, left or I'm not on blue team or red team.
Yeah. You're on no molest team.
I'm like, let's just not molest people, like, or let's
Deal.
just not be racist
Right.
dicks.
Exactly.
If a liberal was like said something offensive and racist,
Yeah.
then
What if it's about white people?
Yeah. So okay, this is another. But in what context? Like,
let's say a black comedian
yeah.
has a TV show or something, and he says, this person is 50% KKK, 50% white devil.
So, yeah, it depends on the context, and it depends on the intent, right?
Like this let's say some member of the Trump administration. Pick one. Jeff Sessions.
Yeah.
Is 50% KKK and 50% white devil.
He sort of is. Yeah. He sort of is.
Bad choice. What about someone who's clearly not? Clearly not. What about like I don't know. Who's?
But it's all context. It's all context specific, right? And like, if you are not part of a minority that's been, if you're part of a minority that's been likened to monkeys and dehumanized because of that, right? Or like, then there's a context behind it. But if you're Bob Sesker, the main writer on the Banter, like my editor at large at the Banter, he wrote a piece today. So he was being attacked by Trump people for writing because he likened George Bush to a monkey, George W. Bush to a monkey like 10 years ago or something, right? And he's like, yeah, but like George Bush is a white dude, an enormously rich white dude, and he's not part of an ethnicity that's been likened to monkeys, so it's not racially motivated. Right. When I'm calling him a monkey, I'm talking about he's stupid. You know, I'm not saying he's subhuman. Right. You know, so when you call a black person a monkey, there's a connotation behind that. It's that, you know, it's a 17th century stereotype of 17th, 18th century stereotype of Africans that they were monkeys.
Is it possible to be racist against white people?
Yeah, for sure. What do you think?
I do think so. Yeah. Yeah. But I'm trying to like be honest about my sensibilities. Like I'm less offended by it. I guess I'm less worried about it. Maybe because the history is so much worse. Because people have been lynched for their color of skin, and I don't know that there's been
people
systematically
or enslaved because they were white,
or like in order to go to school as a little girl in Little Rock, Arkansas,
is that the military
military had to escort you so you wouldn't be murdered. It's pretty bad.
To claim there's an equivalence, again, it's like this victimhood thing. It's like this. It's like this kind of alt-right victimhood type kind of thing.
Yeah,
they're all victims
stupid.
too. I think there's a difference. I think there's clearly a difference. But you can be racist for sure. You can be racist against white people, but you have to judge it on a.
But there's people who argue that racism is power and prejudice, and some people say it's just prejudice.
But it'll kind of be like. It's like if you're anti-banker or anti-homeless people, right? Yeah. If you're an anti-banker, like I have a problem with people who are just blanket anti-banker or anti-Wall Street, like all people who work in banks are arseholes. Like I've got friends who work in banks and they're good people, they're nice people. They give to charity, they do good work. They think they're doing, they're just trying to do a job and feed their family, right? The best that they can. So I have a problem when you call all people who run corporations all banks are arseholes, right? So I have a problem with that. But I have more of a problem with someone who hates homeless people. Right. Because one can protect themselves and the others can't. Like a banker doesn't give a shit. If you're making like 200k a year,
he just takes his money and wipes his
tears. He's like, it's really sad that you hate me, but like I'm living in my 5-bedroom house in the suburbs with I have power. Right. So, but then a homeless person, if you hate homeless people.
So I've been trying to, on Twitter, engage with members of the alt-right.
Yeah. Trump How's supporters. It going?
Actually, it's fine. They've been super. I haven't had any. Some people have been kind of like irritated or irritating, but for the most part, they've been really reasonable, like open to conversation, discussion, not name calling, like really open. And I was responding to this one thread on Twitter about Trump's lies, basically that the guy lies a lot, and it was on Breitbart. Yeah, basically so saying
you were talking to people on Breitbart.
Yeah, Breitbart like readers about this article
on Twitter.
On Twitter,
how'd you find them?
I follow some people on Breitbart so I can like see what the other side thinks.
Oh, okay. So then you engage with
so I went into a thread. And they're basically saying that, look, Trump does lie a lot.
Yeah, they accept it.
They accept it completely openly. Like, yeah, he lies a lot, for sure. All politicians lie a lot. But what he lies about is fluff and showmanship and sort of like, it's like Ringling and Barlin Bailey type, like showmanship lying.
Yeah.
But on the big things, he's honest, which is like he wants to
Being
build
racist,
a wall.
like...
He wants to build a wall. He wants to like cut taxes, and he wants to whatever be more aggressive in foreign policy and move the capital of Israel back to Jerusalem, and he's doing those things. Obama lies too. Don't forget, he lied. If you like your doctor, you can keep him, but that was a lie. That was not true. You couldn't do that. So when Obama lies, it creates harm. When Trump lies, it's just a way for him to sell something. He's just talking shit, but it's not related to his policies.
Okay.
He keeps his promises. That was the big thing that they kept saying, which I understand what they're saying.
But it's like a formula that they've come up with to like respond to it seems
right.
like, if that's what it seems like to me. It's like this formula that they use.
But the thing is, I think Trump lies in order to persuade people, not to do showmanship. To persuade you that immigrants are dangerous, he just makes up a bunch of things about immigrants.
Or that he had the biggest inauguration crowd ever.
To persuade people that he should be listened to. He says, I have the most successful, most historically popular president ever. These lies are designed to get you to buy into what he wants to do, to give him power.
Right.
His lies are intentional.
Right.
Like this witch hunt FBI investigation is designed to discredit the investigations. It's all about persuading you of his point of view.
Right.
And I guess like I'm trying to understand why it's okay for someone to lie all the time. I just don't get it. Maybe if you're listening and you're a Trump supporter, you can explain to me. Like, I think we can all accept that he makes up a bunch of shit. Everyone seemed to. No one was denying it. They're like, yeah, he lies all the time, but it doesn't cause harm.
But like, what's the? Also, it's the whole thing about Obama, like about him being a liar, right? And I've heard. Do you know how many times I've heard that? He said you could. If I want to keep my doctor,
right.
I can.
Right.
That's the only fucking thing they bring up.
He did lie about some other stuff, like he did, or at least he didn't fall through in some of his promises. Like he did say he was going to close Guantanamo. He didn't do that. He said
he couldn't. Republican Congress.
Well, yeah, but he didn't. And he said that, the Patriot Act was a big thing. He basically re-signed the Patriot Act. He did a lot of stuff
that he said he wasn't going to.
That he said he wanted to do. Like, sure. I mean, he continued the war in Iraq the entire time.
Yeah.
Politicians make promises that they
don't keep. Yeah.
So that is like that's a central argument for the Trump side. That look, politicians lie all the time. We know differently than on the right or the left, but Trump lies in a way that doesn't cause harm, whatever. But that was an interesting conversation. So now I'm trying to have more like Twitter. It's the only way I can have like an honest conversation with someone on the Trump side.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they're willing to say the shit that they really think.
Interesting.
It's been interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
I understand. I don't agree, but at least I understand
where they're coming from.
Yeah,
man, I just don't even bother. I don't bother because I can't remember who I was. I wrote a piece about this in the banter members section, and basically what I was saying, or my argument is that basically the Republican Party and the alt-right, you can't negotiate with them anymore. It's not possible to have a dialogue with them. It's impossible. And therefore, because the alt-right controls the Republican Party cannot be negotiated with. It cannot be reasoned or rational, or there's no rational discourse to have with them anymore. I think those days are gone. And it's sad. That to me is very sad to have to come to that conclusion, that there's no basis to have a discussion anymore. With if you support Trump at this stage, there's no reason to have a discussion.
Right.
I'm not trying to understand anymore. Like I understand, it's an alternate reality that they've
It's an alternative reality
that they've spun, that they've created, right? And it's maintained on these principles, like all politicians are liars, so Trump's lies don't count.
Right.
So Hillary Clinton is bad.
Right.
So therefore, it doesn't matter how much of a
Trump
dick
can
Trump
be
was.
as bad as possible.
Bill Clinton was abusive towards women, so
Right.
therefore it's okay for Trump to be
Right.
abusive towards women.
Right.
You know,
Right.
all these kind of they're like the basic tenets of Trump. All these defenses that they can trot out.
Yeah.
Right. And it's fine, okay. You know, all right. If you're in a debate school, if you're in a high school debate, and like you might win some points for making those, you know what I mean, for tactics, right? But it's just bullshit. It's just bullshit.
They're just bad arguments.
It's bad arguments, and B, like, you're not going to convince them otherwise.
I agree. I think before I thought that they didn't believe that Trump was lying, but now I think most of them agree that he's lying.
That he's lying, yeah.
Which is like interesting. That's interesting to me because I thought this was like almost some kind of fascist, like, you know, cult of personality, but I don't think it is. I think it's that they really, really, really care about
the issues
of like immigration, and like the dilution of white people in the United States, and a sense of powerlessness, and a sense of like that they've been wronged over the last 20 years.
Yeah, and again, this is just another reason for me that, like, okay, if that's your worldview, like, it sucks. Yeah. And, you know, I think that there should be stuff done about that, you know, in the future. But right now, the immediate problem is, like, the country's in the grips of madmen.
Well, Trump came out and basically tweeted about Roseanne, didn't he?
Yeah, he made it about him.
He said that the NBC canceled Roseanne and apologized, but they didn't apologize to me for all the fake media news, whatever. Yeah. Yeah,
because he's just riling up the base, you know. He's just making them. He's feeding them meat and like making.
They love it.
Yeah, they love that stuff, you know.
It's a very dark energy.
It's awful. It's really bad, but it's why it needs to be beaten. It can't be reasoned with. You can't reason with Trump. Trump knows this. These are the kind of. Right. He's in a dark world, and he feeds off dark energy, and the people that he's tapped into are feeding off this dark energy of lies and bullshit. And it's what the thing that really upsets me the most is how mean it is, how nasty it is, how it picks on the weak, how it makes, you know, it's very vile. It's really vile. Vicious, it's really vicious. It really is, and I've had that sensation with Trump, like Trump supporting friends of mine who I know. I've actually had a weird experience of being with a couple of my Trump supporting friends, and it got kind of weird where like I felt what they were tapped into for a second, this kind of nastiness, and it was like they were being really nasty about Hillary Clinton, really, really nasty about how because she chose to stay with her husband when he cheated on her. That she can't be a feminist, and that she's a weak person, and that she's full of shit. I'm like, whoa, okay, this is like someone who's had their lives ruined, and like she chose to stick with her husband because of her daughter, right?
But they would turn around and say Melania is a saint because she's like keeping the family together.
Right. You know, so but it was just like this nastiness, this kind of vindictiveness towards, I don't know.
It's very fascist.
It's fascism. It's straight up fascism, and that shit cannot be negotiated with. It cannot be reasoned with. There's no fucking point in talking to these people. Like, and I say these people, and it pains me to like talk of them as other, right? But that's to me that's what's happening right now, and this is what I think our ancestors fought in World War II. Is that this is what was it's like a virus that took over, and enough people were like, okay, no, this is not good. This is not good. We need to stop this, and we need to like by any means necessary.
The thing is, it wasn't when we fought fascism. It was like it didn't really exist very strongly in the U.S. And it was outside of our borders, so it kind of was like okay because our nationalist sentiment helped us propel us to fight against fascism. I don't think it was just the sense that it wasn't like the Spanish Civil War where like believers went to Spain to fight against fascism. It was like we wanted to preserve our national power and identity, and we went to war. So I don't know how that like jives with. I just hope that we defeat this energy peacefully, but I was having a conversation with someone in Ukraine about this, about the rise of fascism in Russia. They're basically saying that, there's no way to defeat fascism. Fascism destroys itself.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it kills itself eventually because it's not sustainable. It's like people talk about like failed ideologies a lot. They talk about communism as a failed ideology, but they don't mention fascism as a failed ideology. It's a completely failed ideology. It doesn't work.
But it's a natural instinct.
It's a completely natural instinct, and so is communism. It's totally a natural instinct.
But I think fascism is more instinctively. It's more instinct. It's more. It's kind of more tribal, right? And I think our roots are tribal, right? Like our humanity's roots are tribal. And I think fascism. I think Terence McKenna had a really interesting point on fascism, where he said basically he looks at fascism and nationalism as tribalism, right? And this is what he sees happening. The 20th century was one long experiment of humanity trying to cure itself, right, through these different ideologies. And one of the most potent ones was fascism, because it was a return to kind of tribalism. It was a return to identity. It was a return to like group identity, right? Like the tribe. But when you're dealing with 6 billion people or 7 billion people on the planet, and nation states with nuclear weapons, the monkeys have now got nuclear weapons.
That's right.
So when these sinister ideologies take hold, these kind of group identity based ideologies take hold, it becomes pretty dangerous. I think.
I think so too. Yeah.
But I think that fascism can be defeated, because it already was. It was defeated. It was won militarily. It was won. It was like, and I don't think maybe today that it's going to be beaten using violence. I think it's going to be won using votes. I think it's going to be won by voting these people out of power, and by shutting down, by silencing, like Roseanne, like people say, these people feel aggrieved, and okay, I get it, that sucks, right? But there's civil society, and then there's uncivilized society. And civilized society is like it's not normal, right? Civilized society, if you look throughout human history, most countries and nations have been run by some crazy dictator or king or dynasty or whatever it is, right? Civil society is rare. Civil democracies are very rare. They should be, and they're very fragile. And I think America has just learned how fragile that is.
I hope so. I think, I feel that everyone on the left underestimates the popularity of Trump. And the growing popularity of Trump. And the way people a lot of people want a daddy. They want a dad who's just
times of insecurity. You want big,
I'm
powerful
afraid. Keep me in your cuddly arms and tell me that everything's okay, and it's the bad man's fault over there, and you're going to take care of it for me, and I don't have to worry about it, and you're going to keep me safe, and you're going to help me make money, and I don't have to worry.
Right.
And that impulse is there for deeply in every society, and you can't. And he's playing the same old notes that have always been played for that in times of crisis and insecurity. It's the same playbook, just dusted off the same shit. I am your voice. I'm law and order. These people, these minorities are to blame. These intellectuals are to blame. Right.
Fake news media.
Right. These elites are to blame. Only I can keep you safe. It's like the same shit that every fascist has ever said.
And we look at it as being ridiculous. You can see through it, right?
Yeah, see right through it.
But it works.
Works
but
perfectly.
It fucking works. This is the
and
scary
it always
thing.
has worked.
Yeah, it always has worked. This is the scary thing.
And you're always incentivized to play those cards because it worked really well.
Right. Yeah. And I think that this is why there's a big problem. This is why there's a very, very big problem. In that if this isn't beaten, it starts to it corrodes and corrupts everything around it.
Yeah, it does.
And that's what we're seeing now. The Justice Department's being he's smearing the Justice Department. He's smearing the FBI. He's smearing the media. Everything.
Right.
Nobody trusts anybody anymore. Right. So he's destroying trust in government. He's destroying trust in the legal system. He's destroying trust in all in the fourth estate. Right. In every aspect of civil life. Yeah. Trump is infecting and corrupting them.
Yeah.
Right. And that spreads. And then the people around him, he's got rid of all the competent people. Not even competent, the sane people have gone. Right. And now the only people who are around him are yes men, people who will do what he wants.
There's a few exceptions still in his cabinet. The military guys, I think. Jim Mattis seems like a pretty sensible guy and a pretty.
Yeah. That was.
I got a text.
Michael got a text.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a fart.
It wasn't a fart.
It was
a
text.
Yeah.
But no, Jim Mattis.
Yeah.
Just waiting for the.
Just waiting for the text to finish.
Text finished?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, where were we? Fascism, threat to America, before Michael rudely interrupted.
Well, now
with
that I've heard
text
it,
message.
it's impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, now that I got a text, I don't know what it said.
Luckily, you guys are not live in the studio.
That's how you defeat fascism. Through text message.
Through text messages.
Do you think he's going to get assassinated?
Trump?
Yeah.
No. I think that, man, I had a guy who I was training in my martial arts class, right? And this guy was I can't give out any details, but he was basically Secret Service and worked with Trump.
Yeah.
And he was saying that, like, I was like, you know, how many death threats did Trump get? Yeah. And he's like, yeah, not that many.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well,
I guess all the crazy people like him.
The crazy people want to kill black people.
Right.
They want to kill Obama. Obama was the guy who got death threats.
Yeah.
It's like a totally different fucking reality. That like a black man in America and a white man in America live in two totally separate worlds.
Yeah.
If you're a black man in power in America, you don't have much to defend you.
Yeah.
Right? And everyone just wants to kill. Like, people underestimate how racist America is.
Yeah.
It's unbelievably fucking racist, right? Yeah. But we live in cities. We live in cosmopolitan cities where, like, you're friends with, you know, all sorts of people. But, like, that's not what... And we, you know, if you met a vaguely racist person, would you be friends with them?
No.
Depends if you're on Ambien or not.
On Ambien, yeah.
If you're on Ambien...
Now that this Ambien's kicking in.
Now the Ambien's kicking in, yeah, I would be...
No, I never.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You would never be friends with a racist person. Well,
I just, like, I feel like as well that I don't really know any openly hateful racist people.
But some people just, that's what they do. They grow up with some racist dickhead and then they're like, oh, that's my friend, he's kind of racist.
I actually do know some racist people, but, like, I don't associate with them or spend any time with them.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah. But, like, they're out there.
Sure.
And they have friends. And they have networks of other people who are like them, who have racist views.
Well, this is the guy I was saying. I was just in Ukraine, and this guy was saying that, you know, when he does a lot of business in Russia, and he's like, you know, I'm Ukrainian, so, like, I'm kind of like, but I look and seem and sound Russian, so, like, they don't really understand. But, like, he's like, when all these, like, Russian guys get together, they just start getting really fascist really quickly together when they're all together finally, and they can, like, talk shit about, like, you know, minorities and Ukrainians and all that shit. And they forget that I'm Ukrainian. And they just get really, really fascist.
Dude, my dad is Jewish, right? But his company was owned by Germans.
Yeah.
But they didn't... So my dad would go to these board meetings in Germany.
Yeah.
Right? And because my dad's last name is Cohen...
Right.
Cohen is a Jewish name.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like a German Jew. A German Jewish name is like, you know, Steinberg or like Goldberg or Rubenstein or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
So nobody knew my dad was Jewish.
That's so funny.
Right? So he'd be sitting in these board meetings and all of a sudden
they'd be Jews!
They'd be going, oh, no, it's terrible. It's a German economy. If it wasn't for the Jews and all the reparations, we have to pay them. And my dad would be like,
cheers, guys.
And I was like, do you say anything? And he's like, no, it would be way too awkward.
Yeah.
You know,
cheers to reparations.
Yeah, right. But it would just come out.
Yeah.
Because they just assume my dad's some white British guy who probably doesn't like Jews either.
Yeah. Bloody Jews.
Blame the Jews for, you know, you can always blame the Jews for something, right?
As you do.
But they do, like, hang out with, like, most people, a lot of people. If you're listening to this podcast and you're this far through and you've listened to Michael get his text message, right? If you're this far through, you're probably pretty bright. Yeah. Right? You're probably a fairly civilized person.
Probably a genius, actually.
Probably a fucking genius, right? Yeah. But you're probably like a nice person who's empathetic, who, you know what I mean? You're like an intelligent, civilized. You'd probably I'd probably invite you around for dinner if you've got this far.
You should come around for dinner.
You should come around for dinner, right?
Yeah.
But
his address is.
But most people, the majority of the people, just look at the YouTube comments, right? Go to YouTube comments for, like, if you want to understand what most of the world is like. Just what. Probably not this video.
the last one we had,
people
were super racist.
Yeah. So check out. Yeah, just go to any YouTube clip and just look at
open the chat. I'm sure the chat just loads of racist shit.
Probably people, being racist towards us.
Sorry, guys.
Go and look at YouTube comments, and you'll see what the general population is like.
Yeah, I remember when I was in high school, I was working like a temp job where I was like basically a waiter, and the job was to be in a country club, and I was like delivering and I was just on the, I was like a kind of fly on the wall basically.
Yeah.
And there was this group of old.
That was Michael's dog, by the way. That wasn't a woman being tortured downstairs in the basement.
And there was a. What was I saying? So I was like serving water or something. And there's this group of like these lovely old ladies, drinking like their gin and tonics, and like very sweet old looking ladies, just saying the most horrible racist shit.
Things.
And like they were talking about like their gardeners or something, and how they were like black and they didn't like them. And then I'll never forget. They were all chiming in on their own particular like type of hatred.
Yeah.
And I was just listening to it because it was amazing. Everyone had their own views, their own kind of hatred. And there's one old lady who would just chime in every few minutes and just say, "And the Jews."
Are you serious?
100% serious. So they'd be like, "Oh yeah," they're like, "Oh, the Mexicans are so terrible. I hate the Mexicans." And like, "Oh, the blacks." And this one woman was like, "And the Jews." And it was just amazing. It was like it was just incredible. And I'll never forget it. And they were the sweetest looking grannies that you'd ever imagine. You wouldn't ever think that they would be.
But this is like I'm saying this is the general population, man.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in a car wash, right? I was sitting in a car wash, and I'm just checking us out live on YouTube. We are live on YouTube, by the way. I'm going to like our own video.
Yeah.
Is that bad?
No, that's great.
Okay, I've liked it. That means it's added to my liked videos.
Sweet.
I don't like it that much. I'm turning it off. But yes, I remember I was in a car wash, right? Mm-hmm. In Sherman Oaks in California, and sitting next to this woman, she's like, nice middle-aged woman. She was Jewish, I think, and we were talking, and she's like, "Oh, you're a Cohen, and blah blah blah, you're Jewish." I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, how's England?" I'm like, "Yeah, London's, She's like, "What's it like in London?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's good." She goes, "But it's like overrun with like Arabs," and I'm like.
What?
I just like, yeah, there's a lot of Arabs there.
There's a few Arabs.
A lot of Arabs.
Edgware Road.
Yeah.
Great shawarma.
And she's like, yeah, they're like a disease. And I'm like,
oh.
And that's when I just was like, okay, we're not continuing this conversation. I went, okay. And I just turned around and stopped talking to her.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't even going to be polite because I was so shocked.
Yeah.
But like, that's fucking normal people are just viciously racist.
Is it wrong that I really want a shawarma now?
Shawarma.
Yeah.
Shawarma?
Shawarma.
They're fucking good.
I really want one right now.
But like,
lamb chicken combo.
But you grew up with Arab people, right?
Yeah, some.
You eat the food.
It's great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Just fucking people.
Lovely people. Yeah.
They're just normal people.
Yeah.
And then, but like, how does a middle-aged Well, she's pretty stupid. She was thick as pig shit as well.
Yeah,
clearly.
Anyone with those views is probably just not very smart.
Probably not very bright.
Yeah.
But like most people are not very bright.
Yeah, there's some people. As my friend Pete so eloquently said, some people are just smart enough to get in their car and go to the grocery store and come home, and that's it.
Yeah. It's sad to say, and I'm not saying it makes I don't think being intelligent makes you a better person.
No, but I think it makes you less racist.
Yeah, because you can probably work out that,
like, this guy, besides the fact that he has different colored hair, pretty much the same.
Yeah, there's a lot of it's just look. America voted for Donald Trump.
Yeah,
right. This is like Britain voted for Brexit.
Right.
I'm not saying that everyone who voted for Brexit is stupid, but a lot of them were stupid. I would bet you if you measured up like pro EU and anti EU, if you did an intelligence test. Or basic, or you had a conversation with your average Brexit voter or your average like Remain voter, there'd be a pretty significant difference.
Yeah, I think so.
And I'm, I don't know. It sounds kind of bad saying it, but yeah. But this is what I'm saying. Like, this is why I think fascist ideologies are so dangerous, because enough people are so stupid.
Right.
Enough people were dim-witted enough to buy into it.
Well, it's like the same thing. It's like they despise the elites. Who think they're better than them because they know what the capital of Italy is. Oh, look
Yeah,
at
that
me.
kind of-
Yeah.
But this is what like Bill Maher like.
Yeah.
Bill Maher's like, yeah, you're fucking dumb,
Yeah.
and I'm saying you're dumb,
Yeah.
and I'm an elitist because I'm not stupid,
Right.
and I have sympathy with that perspective. I do. I don't think you need to be like mean to stupid people,
Right.
but like I don't want them running things. Like Sarah Palin is offensive to me because she's so stupid.
Right. She's
Like,
very stupid.
She's very dumb,
Right.
and the thing is that she
Would you
wears
rather
it as a
Sarah
badge.
Palin or Donald Trump as president? I take Palin all day long.
Yeah, I would say because you could get rid of her much easier
Because
far more easily.
she would not pretend as long as Trump has that she knows what she's doing. She would have fallen apart.
She would have fallen apart. Yeah, would have got rid of her. They would have got rid of her quickly.
Trump is getting stronger. Trump is getting more established. He's getting more popularity. His popularity is rising. A lot of people like him.
Yeah,
They like him that he's strong.
But he was also. This is what happens. It creeps in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes everything. It becomes normalized.
He's normalized it already.
Yeah, people have normalized Trump as president.
Yeah.
Right. He always lying again. Oh, well, that's not
Yeah,
president.
Donald, crazy
Yeah.
Donald.
Yeah, but listen, that's what I'm saying. I'm not normalizing this guy. I will never normalize this guy.
Right, yeah.
Never. I will never, ever, ever normalize this guy. This is not normal, and nobody should accept it as such.
Does he win re-election?
Possibly,
I think he wins.
possibly. It's a difficult one because the more ingrained in the American consciousness he becomes, he's like a fucking cancer. This guy. This guy is like cancer, and you just at some point you just go, "I've got cancer," and like
I'm fucked.
I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Like it might kill, but I'm not there. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like let's cut this guy out.
I don't know who beats him.
Cory Booker.
Cory Booker, you think?
Cory Booker beats him. I genuinely think that.
Okay.
You need a charismatic leader.
Smart, handsome, charismatic leader.
Yeah, who can get enough people excited enough by his presidency.
Right. But I don't know if Cory Booker is that exciting. He's not the orator that Obama was.
No, but he's got presence.
He's handsome.
Yeah, and I think when he debates Donald Trump, I think he can smack him down.
Oh, I agree. He's big, strong, confident.
I don't think Trump's going to alpha him.
No, I don't think he's gonna out-alpha him. He's from Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah, that's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I think that you either need someone who's, because what happened to all the Republicans? Republicans got out-alphaed.
He got out-alpha big time.
Yeah, Trump just took his dick out and was
Yeah.
like, boom.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. For sure.
Try and do that to Cory Booker.
No, he couldn't.
He's not going to do that. And Obama, I mean, he's going to have all sorts of other insecurity. I think one of the reasons he hated Obama is because Obama's black.
Yeah.
And Obama was like
More handsome.
more handsome, more
More
charismatic.
charismatic,
Yeah.
yeah.
And like he has a real thing about like black charismatic people.
He wants to be the prettiest guy in the room too.
Yeah, and I think like he'll have an issue with Cory Booker, and
Right.
maybe a woman would be if there's a good female candidate.
Kristen Gillibrand, maybe. She's pretty good.
Kamala Harris,
Kamala Harris is good.
she's very good.
She's very charismatic.
Yeah.
But not for, suburban Pennsylvania.
Right.
You know what I mean?
This is the issue.
And I don't think that suburban Pennsylvania is going to vote for another black guy.
Probably not. But yeah, I mean, look, it's a problem, and I think that we can learn from other countries as what they do. What do you do in situations like this?
How did they beat Silvio Berlusconi? Put him in jail?
Yeah, I mean, there's I can't remember. I read a piece about this about the guy who beat Berlusconi.
Yeah.
My knowledge of Italian politics is extremely limited. He's not in power, Berlusconi.
Right.
Who's the prime minister now?
I don't know.
They change governments like every month.
There's
in
like
Italy.
talk now about they had a recent election and like apparently like the institutions in Italy are not letting the winner win or something like that. I haven't really been following it, but I don't know who the current.
There's literally a new government every year in Italy.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's crazy,
Yeah.
but like, I understand. I read a piece about this about how whoever beat Berlusconi like did it, and it was just through like organising,
Right.
grassroots, ground game. It was not sexy.
Right.
It was not sexy, and I think that's what the Democrats have to do. It's not going to be sexy, So like anybody who's, I think it's useful to have a strong, charismatic leader who's running this kind of thing. But I think like everyone should, get ready for ground game. Just get out the vote.
Yeah,
right?
get the vote out.
That's the only way to do these things. It's the least sexy thing possible. It's to get you're knocking on people's doors.
Yeah.
It's calling people up. It's like making sure that you go out and register to vote, and like everybody fucking gets up and votes, and like basically make sure this shit does not happen. You know, as part of my piece in the banter as well about what happens if the Democrats get power back.
I don't know. The Democrats are worthless.
They are
Worthless.
But if they have any sense, what they'll do is they will try to solidify their power, and they will do everything, they can to ensure that this cannot happen again. And I think that you have to stamp out corruption.
Right.
That means corruption is the number one thing that they have to stamp out, and they have to change the way government works and the way the elections work to make sure this cannot happen again.
I don't think they're going to be able to do that. I think that if the Democrats win, they won't learn the lesson of Donald Trump, which is like that no one was paying attention to the most powerful group of voters in the country, and sticking to like the narrative from both Bernie and Hillary did not resonate with that block of voters at all. And everyone says that Bernie would have beat Trump, and I just don't think so at all. I think
I'm not saying
he would have come across as weak and old and soft and crazy and
quite a socialist Jew.
Socialist? No way. Yeah, no way.
I'm not saying. I hope he doesn't run again.
I think to me, it's like the United States needs to retool itself for the next 100 years. It needs to rebuild its infrastructure. It needs to change the way it educates people. It needs to stop locking up people and putting them in cages for smoking plants and spending billions of dollars to lock people in cages. It needs to stop doing that. And we need to figure out how to stop shooting our children in school. If we can solve those problems, if they can tackle those problems and forget about like transgender bathrooms for a little bit. I'm not saying that's not important, but like we are literally like on the precipice of a crumbling country. And we got to give a bunch of people a task.
Yeah.
We need to give middle class white America a task, which is rebuild this country, give us America 2.0, a new type of infrastructure, which is not reliant on like 100-year-old technology. You know, let's get like the high-speed rail that we need. Let's get the roads built. Let's get the grid distributed. Let's get blockchain going. Let's change the way we educate our kids, and let's stop fucking shooting them. And like it bothers me so much that the Democrats can't put that narrative together. That the narrative is anti-Trump, which is not a narrative.
Yeah, and I think Hillary Clinton didn't run a good campaign.
No, she didn't.
I think she didn't run a good campaign, and I think that, well, you know, I don't know. She got more votes than Trump, but she didn't get him in the right place. But yeah,
she lost.
She lost. At the end of the day, she lost. Yeah. And I think that, yeah, they need to get that. They need to sort that message out. But like right now, I mean, this is the thing. I also just think that everyone needs to get in line behind the Democrats.
For sure.
And it doesn't really matter. Like, even if they're like not that organised or great, you know, like it doesn't matter. Let's just win. Yeah. Let's just like, it's important that the right people win.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
then we can sort out in party bullshit like afterwards.
Enough of these like dorky Democrats. You know, let's get some people in there who've actually done shit.
Like as much as I don't agree with many of Rahm Emanuel's policies, for example, I really don't agree with a lot of what Rahm Emanuel. But the guy is like an absolute ruthless bastard, and he wins. You know, people like I'm fine with that. I'm fine if you win. I'm fine. Yeah, you know, I'm absolutely fine with like centrist Democrats, like who I don't agree with, right? Who sell out to corporations and insurance companies. And okay, fine. I don't care. At this point, I don't give a shit. Yeah. If you're not Trump and you're not part of the alt-right and you're willing to vote like on important issues, like if you believe in like global warming, for example, you know, this is, you know, fine.
Dude, it's very simple. Legalize weed. Step one. Legalize weed. You're like halfway there.
Yeah.
Like really, seriously, the amount of money we spend to lock people in cages smoke weed is staggering.
Ridiculous. And you could tax it and make fuckloads of money.
Weed would save America.
Oh yeah,
just
absolutely.
Do that.
Just let everyone get high.
Actually, just do that.
Yeah,
and do nothing else.
Instead, we've got Jeff Sessions.
Yeah, so we got Jeffy Sessions. Like literally, you like that would resolve so many of America's problems. The fact that we're locking up so many people for nothing. There's a huge drug war happening on our border.
Right.
Like people are addicted to opiates. All these things can really be resolved by like legalizing a single plant.
Some fucking marijuana.
That's it.
But look,
Do that and nothing else.
I think end of the day, to wrap up,
Roseanne Barr is racist.
We've seen. I think really what we're saying is that we've seen. This is the alt-right.
This is the alt-right.
This is what we've seen what happens.
Yeah.
Give somebody in the alt-right some attention on a television show. This is what you're going to get.
Pretty soon they're going to say something racist.
Right. This is the Roseanne Barr show, or the Roseanne show was supposed to like show us both sides of America, and we've seen both sides of America now. We've seen the one side that is normal, sane, connected to reality, and we've seen the other side which is vicious, nasty, racist, and insane.
Absolutely.
I hate to say it. I hate to say it.
Sucks, but true.
And yeah, I think Ambien as well.
Ambien as well.
I'm feeling the effects. It's a hell of a drug.
Hell of a drug.
Yeah. So anybody, all minorities listening to this, you can
Watch
fuck
out.
off.
Yeah.
You can fuck off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
including us.
Including us. Yeah. So if I'm watching this back
Yeah.
on YouTube
Fuck
later
you.
on, fuck you, you Jew. Yeah. All right. Listen. With that, everyone, we love you. If you love what we're doing, if you really love what we're doing, definitely subscribe to us on iTunes. Right, that would be
Yes.
really cool if you subscribe to us on iTunes, so you get
Below,
notifications.
click below.
Click below. We'll put the link in shortly. So you can subscribe to us on iTunes. You can subscribe to us on SoundCloud. You can give us money. You can donate to the Bantercast on patreon.com/Bantercast. That would be cool. Couple of bucks a month keeps us going.
That'd be nice.
Awesome. And then what else?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's it.
Send me a text.
Send me a text during the middle of a podcast.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy. Yeah. All right. Love you all, and we will see you next week.
Mucho amor.
Peace.
Peace.